Kill her. No. Kill Vertin.
No, I won't.
Obey your master. Kill her. Follow your instincts. Follow my orders. Obey. Kill her now.
Hey. I said no.
What? Arcana may be dead, but they have paved a path for us. The Apostles' Brotherhood will become their followers, undertake their trials, and embrace their grace.
We all need the miracles they bestow. We will be immortal. Fire!
What reason could you have to kill your own men?
They mutinied and killed their superior officer. The Apostles' Brotherhood may have infiltrated our base.
The Apostles' Brotherhood?
A notorious gang from the streets of São Paulo. Our intel suggests Manus Vindicta's presence too.
Sao Paulo. There isn't anything for me there. No dances. No feasts. Nothing.
In this city, Arcanists and humans live side by side. Both are equally passionate, albeit touchy. Violence is far from a means to an end here. It's a tool. And one all too readily used.
Wait!
My apologies. It seems I've killed the wrong people. I remember those nights when fireworks lit up the night, and people danced under a rain of petals until breaking dawn. Finally, it's just you and me, Master. Oh, I see. Oh, you must be quite the singer yourself, right? Come on, sing us a song. Shall I, Master? Hey, I'm tougher than I look, you know. Not even Zeno's brutal training could knock me down. That's what it's all about. Life or death battle, and victory. I never miss. Most of the time, anyway. Give this a taste.
Skip the warm-up. I'm always ready to jump into the action. Hola, kid. It's me, Duncan, your old friend.
You can take the helm. I trust you. Yo ho ho! Ship's in fine shape, and the bones have got nary a scratch either. Avast, matey!
The sparkling of the sea, the shimmering of scales, there is always a light to follow. Be fearless, whether you're in icy wind or scorching heat. Splash in the water.
It's fun to read on the beach, but now I'm seeing spots. This place is a real page-turner. You splashed my book. The daylight here reminds me of the island. It's so bright. As if it could pass straight through my brain and project the answers from my mind onto the lake's surface. Fluidity and fluctuation. A hypothesis of truth. The golden ratio.
Alright, finally, hello everyone, my name is Kazorikodo and welcome back to Reverse 1999 with the new main story. I believe this is a new main story called Tristes, Tropiques. I don't know, lately that the title of the main story has been like foreign language other than English. I'm not sure if this is even English. But anyway, I managed to pull Anjo, but it was like very costly. It almost take everything. I think from now on I have to like save until the Chinese New Year if I want, you know, Noah from the Chinese New Year events. I have to be careful here because like one more slip and I'm probably not gonna have enough before the Chinese New Year. And Anjo is not really, I haven't built her fully, despite she's already like inside 3, so I might not use her today. And I also haven't read her skill yet. I'm gonna maybe later. Alright, so without Anjo today, although I'm looking forward to use her. Alright, so without further ado, let's start the new main story. I think it's going to be long. Let's see how many stages. This one it's going to be 21, so might be long, so I'm probably gonna do it 2-parter on this one. Oh, we are already on Sao Paulo. Okay, so I think this is a direct continuation from Haunted Highway. Chapter 8.
Cowards! Mutineers! Traitors!
Hey, it's automatically. What?
You've made your choices. Now you'll learn the consequences. Zeno never forgives.
Why do you need so many people to shoot them?
Attention! Ready! Aim! Fire!
Whoa, what a start! We are starting with a death penalty there. So it's a Xeno base based
A shame
on
you
the...
had to
Oh, it's
seal
the guy
that.
from... The one that blew up Arcana.
Our second Lieutenant Lopera is a crackshot. I trained her to be nothing less. Yet no soldier of Xeno would take pride in an execution.
Damn, I wonder if he's going to be
The burden falls on me.
playable one day.
This was my fault. My negligence.
The soldier collapse, their limp bodies falling among the weeds. Their blood stains the soil. Doesn't look like a base, it's like a pretty common house.
She hunted down these traitors herself.
Emmy, check the bodies.
God damn it, she seems really cool though, like, I don't want to skip her.
The rest of you, form up.
The soldiers live in formation amid the clearing smoke as the medics arrive to examine the deceased one by one. Lopera hands the rifle to the attendant, removes her gloves, and turns to face Admiral Iger. He stands in the shaded colonnade, away from the blazing sun of Sao Paulo.
Orders completed, Admiral.
But it's just like her uniform is kind of weird. It's like he's the usual farmer or something. A rare smile flashes across the Admiral's face. He nods, a glimmer of approval for his adopted daughter in his eyes. Adopted daughter? Are you Chief?
Well done. Dismissed.
I can imagine Chief when he is old. He's gonna look like this. Lopera salutes before following the soldier away from the execution ground.
There have been too many accidents. An unacceptable rate.
The Admiral's face shows discomfort. The recent soldier desertion, like the leaked footage, have exposed the embarrassing state of the Xeno army.
What reason could you have to kill your own men?
Oh, this one is from the trailer.
Not our men. Not any longer. They mutinied and killed their superior officer.
Whoa.
So they got what they deserved then.
Lieutenant Muldir is investigating still. We will find out who else was involved. The Apostles' Brotherhood is back. We suspect they may have even infiltrated our base.
Is it just me or where the way the mouth is moving a bit weird?
We've also received intel indicating Manus Vindicta's presence in São Paulo.
Manus Vindictae? I'm not entirely surprised. Intelligence suggests they are closely associated with the Apostles' Brotherhood. What I hadn't expected is that they would drop their Order of Enlightenment guys so soon. But Arcane is dead.
There is no room for doubt. No one, nothing could survive a vacuum bomb.
But it's Arcana though. Somehow I really wish she's still alive. I really hope. I hope that this is some sort of her plan. It was the Admiral's personal order to annihilate that once formidable woman. Destruction rained from the sky, and once the dust settled, it was clear that she had been utterly obliterated. The sun glistened in the pooling blood of the executed traitors. Sweat gathers on her forehead.
You will become used to the tropical sun in São Paulo.
Maybe use something more open if you're feeling hot. The early summer heat here is overwhelming.
I've been through a lot worse.
To be fair, your clothes is kind of open, so
Snowy
you're
mountains, deserts, and soaring eagles.
I do find myself thinking back to those times. It should never have been a battleground. Our business here is concluded. Timekeeper, Lieutenant Lilia, let us continue inside.
Do you really need me in there, Capitan? Otherwise, I'd like to hang out here for a bit.
She gulps down some sweet liquor, but it provides little succor. It lacks the frosty flavor of the north. This drink is lethargic, but it's all the base has to offer. In Sao Paulo, soda is cheap, but room is cheaper and in near endless supply. Seriously.
I'll check on Sotheby. See you both later. Pakan.
Sotheby is here and she's intoxicated already. Are you alright, Elia?
Dismissed, soldier. But I caution you. Much has been abundant here. Remember our rules and keep to within the guarded areas.
A simple office, military papers litters the walls and shelves, and a phone sits on a side table. A few dice are scattered casually on the desk.
There may be a person of interest to us nearby. A writer for the Two magazine, said to be a blind woman named Irt. Her works seem to be published after every era the storm has affected. It could be this is only an alias. A pen name used by a new person each time. Or
could she really have crossed the storm 8 times?
Damn.
And somehow the storm has never affected her. Miss Barbara provided us with some information. She said the latest piece was sent from a veteran's residence in Sao Paulo.
I understand they have a doctor working there. A blind woman. If so, she would match our intelligence on this mysterious tattoo writer. You should seek her out. You are fortunate to have come now, Timekeeper. Carlos, the late commander here, was something of a pain to work with. An idiot. Maybe this is why his own men rose up and killed him.
He turns away.
We've already dispensed with most of them.
Hey Juliet. What a fun service, isn't it?
Those men you just had executed.
Yes. La Pera raided one of their locations. Manus Vindicti will not be so happy to hear that, I think. She was, I'm told, excessive in her work, a loose cannon. But I'm pleased with her results.
He seems to hold Lopera in high regard. Cold, ruthless, decisive, quality that don't quite match her sweet face and fiery orange hair. I didn't expect that is her personality either. I thought she's like going to be like the cheerful type.
Admiral, with you in charge here now, I thought I might ask a favor.
She needs to familiarize herself with the local area, transportation and intelligence.
Things may become quite complicated during our visit to Sao Paulo. I wonder if I might request Zeno spare some manpower to assist us.
Our situation is more dire than expected. I will see what can be done, Timekeeper, but no promises.
I wonder if at the end we're gonna face another storm. The 17 towers and 22 courtyards of the base were once all fully patrolled, but now most of them are abandoned.
Lieutenant Muldir will provision you with everything you need. And Lopera, She knows San Paulo well. You may take her with you as a guide.
The Admiral has offered all the assistance he can spare. He sighs at the state of the base.
Now, Timekeeper, there's also something you might do for me.
He seems resigned. Zeno is just like this dilapidated base, a weakened shadow of his former self.
As long as it's within my power, Admiral.
I see that you have one of ours with you, Lieutenant Lilia. I ask that she serve us for the duration of your mission here. She's a fine instructor, and Xena is in need of help training our latest recruits.
I'll speak with her and see what she thinks.
Thank you. I should return to my work. Your comrades should be waiting for you in the meeting room with Lieutenant Moldir.
But if you take away Lilia, who are we gonna go with? Sotheby? I don't think we bring Soneto with us. Oh! You've collected Lopera's fragment goes in part of the past. What is this? Drag the fragment to the top of the panel to connect them and then gain access to monologue. Once you've connected all the fragments, more story will be unlocked. I never thought it was a disgrace. On the contrary, it was the most honorable task Zeno ever gave me. Oh, there is... Okay. A new photo of an old friend. Under the shadow of the colonnade, the orange-headed girl absent-mindedly kicks at the ground, sipping a cold drink. She watches as a beetle scurries across the courtyard, disappearing into a patch of weeds.
What are you doing out here alone?
Oh, hello, who are you? She dips under the shadow of the colonnade, the sun streaming in behind her. The orange-headed girl raises her hand to block the glaring sunlight as she tries to make out the woman's face.
Molly!
It's her quotation mark sister. Moldir? Huh? They grew up together under the watchful eye of their adoptive father. Wait, I wasn't wrong. It's Molly, right? Moldir is the lieutenant. The lieutenant. Or is it name or her name is Molly Mordir? She tosses her drink aside, her face lighting up like a puppy wagging its tail as she runs toward her sister. So the one that Iger want to speak with was her. I thought Moldir is a guy.
At ease, soldier. You've really been building some strength, haven't you?
Shit, she's cute. She pats her sister's head as she hugs her tightly.
And you are sprouting up like a weed.
And you? Looks
Oh,
like they've
good
been
sibling
feeding you
moment.
well.
Returning the favor, she slips her hand under her sister's shirt and pinches her soft belly. Oh, they're still very close.
Pera! Stop it!
Just a little prank.
How long will you be
She
staying this
she
time?
remind me of how long will it? What's that? Greta? What's it, Greta? What's her name?
Not
The
long.
one Marcus'
Father
mentor.
plans to
Who
leave
was it?
soon. He was furious when he heard about
But
the
he has long
factions.
hair.
He ordered that he be brought here immediately.
As the Admiral's most trusted lieutenant and child, she has accompanied him to the Sao Paulo base.
Perhaps you might leave with us when the new CO arrives.
She seems hesitant. Only the Admiral decides who stays and who goes, whether it be her, Lopera, or anyone else.
Really? But I don't know. Things are going well for me here, Molly. I enjoy being near the veterans' residence.
And I'm happy for you. The wisdom of elders is worth its weight in gold.
Come on. You sound just like him. Speaking of him, didn't the old man come with you?
She looks around, but Admiral Igor is nowhere to be seen.
He's still with the timekeeper in his office.
Ah, so you snuck out just to see me? Did you really? You did!
No. I came to, weed.
What?
The grounds have gotten so messy since the shutdown.
Weeding, a ridiculous excuse. Who would bother to traipse through all these desolate courtyards just to pull a few plants?
You're lying. Those ears of yours are scarlet red.
This has always been one of her difficulties. Her face may be steely, but her glowing red ears always give away the truth.
Alright, no more joking. We should get to the meeting room. Our Foundation guests are waiting. I would like to get back before they realize I've slipped away.
Alright, but while we go, let me tell you about the prisoner we captured during our raid. And the strange little sheep in a bottle.
Amid the grass, a hummingbird watches the two as they walk away, talking and laughing together. He turns his gaze toward the tower in the south of the base. Since she's not playable, I wish she's not dead. Don't make things like what happened to Greta happens again. Please. The room is simple, sturdy and clean. A military room through and through. Sotheby and Lilia, who's Sotheby's here, are idly looking around the reception room. Photographs of veterans are proudly hung on the wall. They are arranged in chronological order.
1968.
Wait, the Sotheby song, why isn't playing? The soldiers look grim. They avert their eyes from the camera, a hollow look within them. It was a victory without flowers or honor.
Izmir. I've never heard of it. I wonder if they have any embark there.
Her eyes is glimmering. In one photograph, soldiers stand in formation under a row of date palms. They gaze off into the glimmering coastline.
1986. Rio de Janeiro. Rio. Hold on. Is that...
Rio de Janeiro. Amongst the soldiers, she spots a face that is all too familiar.
Mr. Carson?
Wait, what? Mr. Carson is... So he was a member of Xeno? She jumps up, trying to get a hold of the wooden frame. Mr. Carson disappeared in the storm of 1929. Oh my god, that's that last supper scene, if you remember. I know, right? Oh my...
Oh, you have friends in Rio?
Lilia takes the photo of the wall.
I can't believe it! That simply must be Mr. Carson!
How do you recognize him though? Like, he seems very young. You will never mistake him. He looks livelier than before. His hair is darker and wilder, but his features are unmistakably those of her dear butler.
The storm... I saw him. He dissolved.
Oh! You are right. They are from different eras. Shit, I didn't think of that. How?
Mr. Carson? What? You mean this old geezer in the photo? What are you talking about?
Sotheby nods her head fervently.
Why? This must be Mr. Carson.
Yeah, they're all gone, right? 1929, and he already old. And how come he's now it's 1990?
There's no two men in the world that could look so alike. Could it be a doppelganger? Or an evil twin? But then, surely, Mr. Carson would have mentioned a twin brother. Even an evil one.
An evil one.
Nose? And his eyes. Though he's not wearing his glasses. But I know those wrinkles.
Is this like a foreshadowing something? So Debbie continued to talk to herself. The man in the photo looks just like Mr. Carson, save for the smile on his face. The stern old butler will never smile like that.
I have to look closer. I must be mistaken. But he's so very like the Carson I remember.
Like a potion in a bottle, 1,001 questions bubble up in her mind. She almost presses her nose against the dusty glass of the picture frame as she tries to make out every detail.
Maybe then, Mr. Carson could still be...
The dust has gotten into her nose.
Phew!
That's so cute. Admiral Aegor starts into the room. Wait, I don't understand though. How? Even if it's evil twin, like a natural twin, like how he looks younger in 1990.
Where is Lieutenant Muldir?
He looks around. Moldir was supposed to be welcoming their new guests.
Sir, timekeeper.
Lilia immediately straightened up, saluting the Admiral.
Miss Burton, come and look!
Sotheby waved at her, the photograph clutched in her hand.
Mr. Carson could still be alive. Huh?
Still alive? The Mr. Carson who vanished before their eyes in the storm of 1929?
I guess Sotheby saw someone familiar in one of these veterans' photos. You know this Carson guy?
Look! Look!
How could it be? Mr. Carson was... Sorry, I was talking. Give me a second. How could it be? Mr. Carson was erased by the storm of 1929.
He does bear a striking resemblance to Mr. Carson, if my memory serves me right.
Yet here he is, in a photo dated 1986. So 4 years ago. The Admiral strides over and examines the photo.
Oh, 86. We lost many good soldiers to the Amazon that year. But some battled through, survived.
Oh shoot, it's raining.
This man is one of the latter. You're saying that you've met this man before?
Wait, what was that? He was alive? Some battle through survive. So he survived.
He looks remarkably similar to a friend of ours who we lost in the storm in 1929. In fact, Admiral, they appear to be nearly identical. It's almost unthinkable.
I must say, Mr. Carson would never dress like that. But I'm certain this is him.
Just looking at him brings back memories of her dear old butler.
That is fascinating.
Do you know if this man is still alive?
I couldn't say. Doubtful he would be in our service anymore. But you may find him at the veterans' residence in São Paulo.
Sao Paulo, the veteran residence. Like items washed to the shore, secrets and answers gather there, waiting for the birds to carry them away. If Mr. Carson lives until that yet, he gonna be over. Yeah. How does it work?
Thank you for your patience.
The two of them are met with a cold look from the Admiral.
Sir.
Daddy's angry. Oh?
Lieutenant Mulder, about time. What was it? Did you stop for a picnic?
A scalding comment. Mulder was supposed to be taking care of Miss Sotheby. It seems she has abandoned her duty.
Admiral,
Save your excuses.
Yes, sir.
It was my fault, Admiral. I ran into her on our way here. It's been a while since we last saw each other.
As her father glares at her, she quickly realizes that her attempt to cover for her sister is only making things worse.
Your performance on the training ground earlier was most impressive, Miss Lepera.
Is this me or this is Miss Radio? She breaks the awkward silence.
Allow me to introduce my team. This is Miss Sotheby.
Sotheby smiles and curtsies. She's so cute.
And this is Lieutenant Lilia.
She gives a brief salute.
How's it going? I was previously assigned to HQ.
It seems your assignment here has done little for your discipline, Lopera.
The Admiral stands with his hand behind his back. He examines his undisciplined daughter, a grim look on his face.
You have new orders. I'm assigning you to accompany the timekeeper and her team to São Paulo for the duration of their mission.
Lopera nods, but Lilia still has questions.
Me and Lepera? That's a whole lot of firepower. What are we expecting during this mission?
Oh, sorry, Lilia. I haven't had the chance to speak with you privately. The Admiral asked if you could stay on site to help with training their new recruits. What do you think? You can do as you wish.
Training up some new blood, eh? Well, as long as you think you can handle things without me, I can stick around to lend a hand. It will be just like the good old days back at the academy.
She knows that this isn't a request, but an order.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
He nods and smiles in thanks. His smile fades as he turns to his youngest daughter.
As for you, Lopera, please show our guests to their rooms. And try not to overexert yourself.
So strict. I cannot imagine how Chief and Hecate and Hela talk like this. Orders have been given to everyone present.
Lieutenant Lilia, stay for a moment. Lieutenant Moldier will bring some documents shortly. They should prove useful for your assignment.
Moldier, briefly out of the Admiral's sight, shrugs helplessly as her orders start to pile up. Lilia gives her a knowing smile. He's always like this. It's just part of the job.
Now, I have other business to attend to. If you'll excuse me.
He turns and leaves, his imposing figure soon disappearing from sight. Lopera exhales a long breath, snaps her fingers, and smiles as she heads toward the door. She turns to her guests.
Come on, let's go. I'll show you around. But stay close. This base can be a bit of a labyrinth. It's only missing a bloodthirsty minotaur lurking its halls. Well, I haven't seen him yet anyways.
Oh. But the title of this episode is The Minotaur. Are we gonna find some enemy inside?
The base here has been understaffed for some time. Whole sections are deserted. It can be dangerous. We don't usually allow guests to move about freely. Well, who am I kidding? We don't have any guests in the first place. Who'd come here for a visit? Scenic views of dead gardens and overgrown brush. In the spring, we have vine-tripping competitions. And in the summer, you can be part of our complimentary bug buffet. Even the farmers back home had it better than these.
She leads the way, chewing on a piece of wolf's tail grass.
Before Zeno moved in, this was the fort of some Lisbon aristocrat.
The shadows of the old continent are everywhere here. The ghosts of the 18th century still clinging to every mark on the marble columns.
There's only one place fully off limits here. That tower.
Who? She points to a tower in the distance. Are you hiding someone in there? Style after Andalusian architecture, it stands ominously under the scorching sun, looming over the base with an eerie intensity.
What's in there?
It must be the Minotaur's lair! Or a secret lab for super soldiers!
Captain America. So the beast's imagination is running wild again. She's so childish.
Imbued with the strength of an ox, the wits of a man, and the wings and fiery breath of a dragon!
Does Minotaur have no wings? He doesn't have a wing.
Senora, this is a Xeno base, not some chimera's nest. Besides, if there were any monsters in there, I would have heard them by now.
Were those the Admiral's exact words? That nobody is allowed inside the tower?
Yeah, that was what he said. Under no circumstances is anyone to be allowed inside.
The more reason to check. Then a quick peek around wouldn't exactly violate the letter of that order.
Miss Vertin, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Of course we are. We're always up to mischief. Is there treasure inside the tower?
Let me say this again. There are no monsters in that tower.
What about treasure though?
And I am under orders to escort you directly to your rooms.
She blinks. Clearly curiosity isn't only in the hearts of these new guests.
But if we were to say walk a bit too close
Oh.
and accidentally provoke some nearby creatures...
Can't be held, right? Mischief creatures often wander into the courtyards, and this one have appeared just in time. Are we going to slender the critters?
How terrible! It seems trouble has found us!
Well, you see, we like to picture. Oh no! Let's blame on these little critters for accidentally getting into the tower. What?
Program activated. Hooray, to the left. Regaining control of our body.
What's wrong with the critter? that? What?
Loading.
What?
Charging.
Why did it disappear? It's a rainbow.
Now,
It's like the critter has
preserve this
fallen
memory
into
in
a
our
pain.
dreams.
They gave me quite a start. Thankfully, they were easy to handle.
We can't let them run off. Who knows what damage they could do?
The critter must have seen rainbow earlier, so they copy. Opera chases after the fleeing critters, who just so happen to be heading in the direction of the tower. What a coincidence! It is nothing more than a coincidence. Really? The half-hour-long game of tag finally comes to an end. Whoa, seriously? Half an hour?
Now where could they have gone?
Maybe inside the tower. Oh. She searches for the colorful critters, a serious look on her face. In her concentration, she bumps into a wooden door flanked by a lemon trees.
It may well be possible they fled into the tower.
Meredith, you read my mind. The door stands at the base of the tower.
Is this the entrance?
Well, well, how is the critter can open the door though?
Timekeeper!
Clearly, this door is not supposed to be open.
Mi viejo, the Admiral. He won't be happy with this.
The sight of it is tantalizing, just a touch, and it will swing open, revealing all the mystery within. You mean this is not locked? Whoa.
But why? Is there something hidden inside?
Shit. Claw marks line the wall, and blood stains on the door. And blood stains the door. Rabbit blood, bull blood, unblessed lamb blood. The wind stirs the lemon trees, filling the air with the faint scent of bay and myrtle.
There's an arcane array on the door. Is it to stop us from entering? Or to keep what's inside from coming out?
If only we have Argus here. Maybe she can read it. The arcane array looks ancient. It was weakened with time. Oh, she traces the marking with her fingertips. The blood flakes off, breaking a small gap in the array.
I have no idea. We're soldiers. We follow orders, no questions. As mi viejo would say. With all the flooding we've had, they probably shoved everything they wanted to keep safe and dry in there.
Lopera.
Oh no, we got to find out. Moldy rushes from behind, putting an end to their little accidental adventure.
You get lost on your way to the guest room, Spera. You know better than to be here. Your ship will be leaving early tomorrow morning. Please return to your rooms and get some rest. This is a military base, not an amusement park. Please, do not wander about, especially near restricted areas.
My apologies, Lieutenant. Perhaps you could point us in the right direction.
She steals one more look at the tower as they leave. The fruits on the lemon trees are plump and juicy. Dolby's blood array appears dark in the sunlight. Oh, what could they be hiding? The wooden door creaks open a little, allowing an insect to fly in through the gap. So it's possible for the critter to...
Theo! It's gone!
It's Anjo! Inside the tower, the sole prisoner has been quietly listening to their conversation. There's a ship leaving tomorrow morning. As the footsteps trail off, she gently pushes the door. The seal is indeed gone. She is free. Like, it makes sense to keep Anjo inside. So it's not a Minotaur, but it's probably worse than a Minotaur. The person that single-handedly beat up Jay and Matilda. And I don't know, that one guy that died also. A journey always starts with a farewell.
Here, put this on, Pera. It will allow me to track you should anything happen.
Looks like a landmine. Or the Iron Man thing on the chest. She fastened a small button to her sister collar. This button connects to the two of them tightly. With this, they will always be able to find each other, no matter where they are. They kiss on both cheeks. that surprised me a little.
You'll remember to bring father a souvenir this time, yes? And promise me you will be careful. I do not wish for our Pera to buy the farm just yet.
Don't worry about me, Molly. Worry about them. I'll kill them all if I have to. Every last one.
She makes sure to emphasize the totality of her determination.
All right. Enough blabbering. Do you two always share these little heart-to-hearts whenever you leave? I got nothing to say except
Why
bye.
she's intoxicated though? It's still morning.
Or is the tortoise suddenly not so worried about its speed?
But I like her when she blushing. The ship signals its imminent departure.
Sotheby, do we have everything?
Naturally. Miss Sotheby is always ready to travel.
The ship is boarding now. After it departs, I will spend some time gathering intel on Mr. Duncan.
Thank you.
We should be able to find him in the flesh once we get to town. Duncan and I go way back. And I'll introduce you to another friend. She lives in a bottle.
I'd be delighted to meet your friends. We should be going now. Lilia, I've told Admiral Eagle that he can rely on you for
Igor,
further
it's not
assistance
Igor.
as necessary. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, I'll do whatever needs doing. Счастливого пути!
No, Lilia. Having seen off their guests, Lieutenant Mulder returns to the Admiral office to report an incident from the previous night.
Admiral, a prisoner has gone missing from the tower.
Oh shit. She lowers her head as she awkwardly delivers her report.
We'll make sure it's kept under wraps. The seal was broken, and we are still investigating who might have been involved.
Isn't it obvious?
I did encounter the timekeeper, Miss Sotheby and Lopera, near the tower yesterday. Still, I see no reason to suspect them.
They were the only people she saw near the tower yesterday. It's probably an accident when 13 touched the symbol.
The timekeeper doesn't have any incentive, and Lopera... No, she wouldn't be involved.
Until last night, the tower held a single unlucky prisoner, a lamb to the slaughter, a stalk of wheat in autumn, but now she has gotten away.
Find the prisoner, but don't attempt recapture. Let's see who she's been in touch with.
So it's not. So this possibility is not 13
Understood.
that accidentally opened the seal.
Lieutenant, this was a failure that must not be repeated.
He grits his teeth as he stares at the map before him. Zeno shouldn't be like this. Whoa, feels like we're in holiday. The ship departs, and before long, a dozen rowboats have surrounded it. Just like we're in Titanic or something.
Oh, look at those strange cowboys. What are they doing with those hooks? Are they trying to hitch a ride?
Yes, they will use those hooks to grab onto the side of the ship and moor their boats to ours.
Just as she said, The boats throw their hooks, latch onto the ship, and a number of people clamber aboard. Their trader hawking homemade trinkets. Lopera politely declines them all.
Take this, timekeeper.
What's this?
Just a map, in case we get separated.
The map is marked with at least 3 safe routes.
These will show you the way from the harbor to the veterans' residence. Though, it can't show you the safest way. For that, you'll need me. But what am I saying? San Paulo is perfectly safe. That's what the politicians say anyways. Never mind the talk of gangs, cartels, and greedy multinational corporations. Pure slander.
Thank you for the warning, and the map. Let's hope I won't find any occasion to use it.
I hope so too. Well, we have a long cruise ahead. I'll leave you to your business. At the mice.
She waves goodbye, making her way through the energetic traders and to the other side of the deck. The traders scamper around like little mice. Having made their sales, they are now scrambling to get a plate of food from the chef.
So the kitchen even prepares food for them?
Oh, I thought they're going to like tell them to go away, but apparently they're welcoming them.
No line cutting. You boy, back to your place. You up, or there will be no dinner for you tonight.
The chef taps his metal spoon, sending the boy back to his place in the queue. The boy sneakily grabs a few flatbreads, tucks them under his shirt, and scurries away. Oh no, Sotheby! He bumps into Sotheby, crashing to the floor along with his stolen goods.
Hey, out of my way!
He stuffs the bread under his shirt again before running off. As he passes, Sotheby notices a gleam of an arcane skill in his eyes. He runs like a child enchanted by the Rattenfanger as he bolts toward a corner of the cabin.
Miss Vertin, did you notice that boy? Wasn't he awfully strange?
You're right. Come on, let's go see what he's up to.
A woman hides in the shadows. Oh, who could it be? Her face is familiar, but she wears an entirely new outfit. Is it really her? The lady at Tuesday Motel? Oh, it is her.
It's you.
The bread-stealing child is gone. Instead, Miss Kimberly is curled up in the corner, stuffing bread into her mouth with both hands. She stops and looks up, surprise in her eyes.
Oh, Burton! How? What are you doing here? I was about to ask you the very same question.
The farewell at Tuesday Motel last month wasn't exactly pleasant, but she looks starved now.
Is this a new friend, Burton? A pleasure to meet you.
Sotheby approaches, but Kimberly looks terrified. She freezes, a sticky lump of dough dropping from the corner of her mouth.
Please, take this.
She offers her a chocolate bar. After a moment hesitation, Kimberly swallows, grabs the bar and shoves it into her mouth.
Oh, thank you.
She licks her fingers clean like a ravenous child.
Have you found what you lost since we last met?
Her face falls, it appears not.
Perhaps I could help.
Thank you, but I would prefer to do this on my own. I was the one who lost it, and I will be the one to get it back.
She's unwilling to cooperate, but there is no hostility. A strange and contradictory figure, an Arcanist who seems to be on the verge of reformation.
This ship is headed to Sao Paulo. Is that where you're heading as well? Would you like to accompany us?
I thought we are already in Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo? I don't...
Is the ship only destination? Where else could she go?
there isn't anything for me there. Only a bit of misery and pain. There's no more dancing, no feasts or banquets, no...
Her eyes dart away. There's nothing there.
No. No, I would rather we simply part ways here, Miss Virgin. Farewell and pleasant journeys. I'm indebted to you for your kindness.
She seems normal. It doesn't seem like the very same person when we fought her in the Florid to the Golden City.
Ah, and your friend here. Aren't you just a sweetheart?
Huh?
Oh, I could just gobble you up for tea.
What is that supposed to mean? She reached out and pinches Sotheby's cheek.
Oh, madam, please, you... This simply isn't proper or ladylike.
Kimberly smiles as if she has shed the baggage of their previous encounter and disappear into the crowd. There's an old legend told in the desert peninsula. Encountering a demon is always a sign of bad things to come. Oh no! Is she a demon too? I always thought she's a lizard. Anjanala. Huh? Where? A dazzling necklace that once belonged to an innocent heart, stolen by a young pickpocket during her wandering, and then traded for a few days' worth of food money. Oh, I should do that? I didn't know! Under the dazzling chandelier, they indulge in toast, dance, and self-congratulation, whispering lip to ear in high spirit. At the end of the red carpeted stair, the object of their discussion finally arrived, lifting her skirt and offering a slightly apologetic smile. Matahari, Matahari, my darling. What? The rich and powerful are reduced to bumbling fools with only a coy smile. People gather and cheer, fervently chanting their hostess' name, circling at her feet, offering gold, offering jewels, offering their loyal hearts. Uncovering the hostess in her sister, like a shadow at her side, whisper of this one echoed through the depth on the mansion. The little girl who grew up in her sister's shadow rules this mansion-sized kingdom. That is... I'm gonna read it off stream. That's super long. What a way to hell. The wind blows through Lopera's hair. The tourists gather at the ship's edge, watching the locals in small boats approaching the cruise ship.
A few treats to buy their worship, and they call it kindness. How undignified, to be reduced to begging for scraps like a dog.
The children on the boats wave their hands and shout in an attempt to attract the tourists' attention. The crew and on-board priests have packed supplies for the tourists to buy and throw to the impoverished children, all parts of the tour experience.
Dignity doesn't count for much in the face of hunger.
That's actually pretty insulting, don't you think? The stranger nods, though he doesn't seem to completely agree.
Yet no man can live by bread alone.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was like a hobo. Surprisingly, his clothes is just so nice.
And yet none can live without it.
You're a clever girl, Senora. But I hear from your accent you are no local. So what brings you to San Paulo? Business, ne? I have some business myself in the favelas.
It looks like the time stone belonged to Doctor Strange.
Colombia, senor. And no, only a visit. To the San Paulo Veterans Residence. It's a safe place. If you find yourself in trouble, you should seek it out.
Oh, is it now? Thank you. You're very kind to offer.
Lopera idly tosses a small die up in the air and catches it in her hand again. The stranger eyes follow the die as it traces its path. I don't know, I feel like it's part of the Order of Enlightenment, yeah?
Care for a game of dice, señorita?
Because the color palette is almost the same.
What's the bet?
Actually, it's like Manus Vindicte. She glances at the black suitcase by the stranger's feet.
Well, let us bet against the goodness in one another.
Wait a minute, isn't he in the trailer?
Let us say that the loser will cover the cost of all the food given to all the little vendedores today. In the winner's name, of course.
A generous gamble for a conscience that knocks on heaven's door.
That's no small wager, senor. Still, I appreciate the good game.
The stranger smiles as he watches Lopera drop the die on the table and shake it in the wooden cup.
High-low then. Who goes first?
Ladies first.
Low.
Let's make it more interesting. 6. If it rolls anything else, you win.
She shakes the cup again, the die unevenly tumbling around inside.
Do you mind?
Whoa.
I lost, just as was meant to be. So then, I am to be the vehicle of grace today. Might I have your name, Senora? So that all may know the name which is to be sung in paradise today.
Carlota Lopez Rivera. But it is Lopera should you ask after me.
Lopera of Sao Paulo. The defeated stranger picks up the die. He notices something in its design and cracks a smile. He places it in Lopera's hand.
That's an interesting die you have there.
It was only lucky.
Huh?
What's going on?
Do as I say, all of you!
Look, Vertin. There are some more river cowboys over there.
No, that's a pirate!
I'm afraid they seem more like river pirates.
Sotheby!
Stay back, Sotheby. What do you want?
Where's the captain? We're changing destinations. The ship will be docking in the favela now. Or we'll blow it all to bits.
He flicks a lighter and lights the fuse of an explosive. He's panicked. Clearly, he's afraid of something.
Get out of the way!
Lopera has already drawn her guns. But the crowd is panicking. She can't get a clear shot.
Hold your fire, Lopera. There are oil drums on board.
Lopera notices the oil drum stuck behind the crowd. A single mistake could turn the whole ship into tomorrow's headline in Sao Paulo papers.
Ugh, slimy rats.
She holsters her guns and charges forward with her bare fists.
Embrace rather than resist. It's left.
I can hear it.
Loading.
Regaining control of our bodies.
The light that illuminates all.
Is it just me or the enemy is quite tough? I think like on the event I managed to like one-shot everyone.
It is here, charging.
Right.
Why? Is that a new mechanic? What's this symbol? I think there is something that I don't know here.
Charging. Loading.
Just one. Why? Is there a limit of amount that we can have now?
Child of science. Eliminate target. And now to return to my long-term mission.
Rest. Lopera grapples with the Tuck before wrestling him to the ground and punching him repeatedly in the nose. She tears the explosive off the pirate body, but in that brief moment, the Tuck manages to pull one of her guns from its holster.
Lopera!
The fight halts, the Tuck's trembling and pointing the gun at Lopera. The oil drums are just a few steps away.
Either we go to the favela or to the bottom of the river. Claro? Make your call.
The favela? Are you with the Apostles' Brotherhood?
Huh?
They forced you into doing this, didn't they? Hijack the ship and bring it to us. Is that right? Too bad for you. This ship won't be making any unplanned detours today.
The pirate's eyes widen as he freezes in place, only his legs trembling. Lopera hit the mark, but the Tuck's reaction is extreme. His finger tightens on the trigger as his teeth chatter nervously.
Estúpidos! Get down!
The bullet flies past her shoulder, instead piercing an oil drum behind her.
Blaze busters?
A blinding flash of light and a wave of heat hit them as the ship is quickly engulfed in flames. The ship lurches violently as the blast tears through the vessel and water starts flooding into the hull.
Oh my god!
Lifeboats! Get to the lifeboats now!
Oh my god, I said something like Titanic, but I didn't expect this.
God help us! This is hell!
Panic breaks out as the ship starts to split in half. More explosions follow. There's no sign of Miss Kimberly in the crowd.
Hold the railings! Stay on the deck!
Lopera shouts from the water as she clings to a piece of floating wood. She gasps for air as she bobs up and down in the water. Chairs, benches, and sailing gear disappear as the ship sinks further and further into the depth of the river. Sotheby clutches the guardrail tightly, but the ship is almost vertical and sinking fast. Ooh.
Let go, Sotheby! You need to jump now! Join Lopera!
Screams fill the air as the tourists cling on for dear life, watching their friends and family hurtle towards the river. Like overripe oranges, one by one, they lose their grip and plunge into the depth. I'm seriously imagining that one scene from Titanic right now.
Martin!
Oh no! Jack! Flames lick the guardrails, melting the ship materials. The explosions ring in her ears. Sotheby closes her eyes and flings herself toward Lopera. Lucky for her, Lopera quickly grabs her hand and pulls her onto the wooden plank.
Somebody, please get her!
She is still on the ship. Who? Ferdin? Ferdin or Anju? Oh my god. It's like a death phobia thingy. With one final explosion, the ship... Oh. Damn, that was so good! I can feel it! Whoa, that was so good! The sunlight ripples on the surface, growing farther and farther away. Whose hand is that?
Can't have you dying here. Why do we keep meeting in these awkward situations? Consider my debt paid.
I don't really understand. Like I thought she's supposed to be like the villain during the Florid event. But right now she's helping Putin.
Things went sideways. That's what happens when you put guns in the hands of amateurs. But you handled the water better this time. You controlled your breathing, kept your airways clear, and this time, you remembered to lie back and float. Does it matter? I'm all you've got. We're at war. Bullets flying, wounds festering, typhoid, cholera, and all the worst of it. It's a living hell, and only fools think there's any honor in it. You never expect to see a familiar face again. Not in times like these. Now I need you to listen. There's something you should know. The raid on the river was a ploy, and its mastermind is an old acquaintance. As for the ones who carried it out, you already heard about them this morning. They promised their followers they'd push south, and they did. With their supplies secured by a mysterious third party, they paraded through every town along the way, playing as liberators and taking out anyone they decided were their enemies. They swelled in numbers, larger than any local gang or cult had ever gotten before. Now they swarm across the land like a school of red-bellied piranhas, always hungry, ready to tear apart anything that crosses their path. Chances are they're doing fine, just like you. Would have been nice if you caught what that little executioner and that gold-hearted gambler were talking about during their dice game. Guess you'll have to ask her later. Listen, I'm not here to run your errands or play your messenger boy, so ask nicely. There's nothing more I need to tell you, for now.
I'm still confused, like, what is this? Who is she talking to? Like, I see like on the previous chapter from very beginning, we have a lot of this kind of thing, but I just don't understand how it fits the story. Is it like some sort of Vertin power timekeeper that I don't know of? Damn, dropping in a river in Brazil.
The Brotherhood just took a beating from Zeno.
It's pretty
If they're caught up with their own
dangerous.
trouble,
What if you
then we might have a
meet
golden
Anaconda?
opportunity to turn the people against them. We can't lose anyone else to their lies.
The old man next to him casts his fishing line. The bobber floats quietly on the river surface. Across the river, a water anaconda eyes the two men beneath the shadow of a snake. Damn, they're so brave.
What do you say? Want to talk about plans?
The old man doesn't speak. Instead, he removes his sunglasses and pushes a cup toward his friend.
Here, drink up.
Thanks. Listen, as much as I enjoy being out here all day, we've got to take action now. The sooner the better. Don't you think?
The young man takes the glass and downs it in one gulp, as his friend suggested.
Hold your horses, young Eleno. Let me explain. Say I throw a punch at you now. really hit you good. What next? Maybe you'll storm off at first. Then you round up your cousins. Maybe grab that Tommy gun you borrowed from Colonel Tiargo. Then you'll find me, all alone, and say, "You're done, you old fart!"
The old man laughed, mimicking shooting with his hands.
I'm not gonna harm you, kid. And if ever I do, remember that old Duncan must have his reasons, and he'd never harm a friend intentionally.
What is all that supposed to mean?
I'm rambling. I mean, true enough that Lopera hit them hard, and we both know that the Brotherhood will aim to settle that score. And they won't wait long. But if we don't play this smart, it'll only cause them to lash out more.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, is it the one that looks like Carson is Duncan, or?
Still, we do have to consider one thing. Those who chose to follow them never come back.
No. They don't.
So, let's seize the day. Grab opportunity by the horns, and maybe we stop losing more of our friends to those bastards. Right now, seems to me that Zeno is our best bet.
The young man considered this proposition.
That just might work, old man. With the Brotherhood falling apart, Zeno will start to look pretty good to folks here.
Ah, but not so fast, kid. We need a little patience. Let the line out a little first. If you fail to prepare, you're prepared to fail.
Oh no, anaconda. The bobber twitches.
Got it! Excellent!
The old man jumps to his feet, wheeling his fishing rod and fighting the unseen enemy in the water.
Don't think you can get away from me!
The fishing line plunges down into the river, the rod bending into a crescent.
You like to wrestle, huh? All right, let's see who gets the upper hand. Old Duncan is not about to lose a battle to a fish!
Is it a fish? It's a giant puff-puff fish, larger than any he's seen before.
Osa! Do you see the size of its belly? It's huge!
What looks like a large green cake is floating inside its translucent belly.
What a deal! Catch one, get one free. How generous, Mother River. All right, jokes aside, Galeno. Come on, help me get her out.
Old Duncan pulls out a knife and slices open the fish belly. His catch bursts like a balloon, releasing air, water, and a girl? What?
This has got to be the strangest thing you've ever fished out from the river.
Another castaway floats downstream.
Duncan! Duncan!
Across the river, the water anaconda looks onto his target, slipping into the water and swimming toward her.
Duncan, look! She's got an anaconda chasing after her!
What the hell? The water anaconda zigzags toward its prey.
I saw it. Don't you worry.
Old Duncan sets the soaked girl down before lifting a blowpipe and aiming at the snake. Whoosh. The dart strikes, quickly draining the anaconda of its strength. It sinks to the riverbed like a coil of old rope.
Hang in there, Lopera. Come this way, we'll get you. Here, take it.
He grabs a nearby vine and throws it into the water. Lopera grabs it and pulls herself toward the shore.
Thank goodness you were here to grab me.
Wait, isn't she with Sotheby last time? She clambers onto the shore, shakes the water from her hair, and sits leaning back on her hands, breathing heavily.
But what are you doing all the way out here?
I was wondering the same thing about you, girl. Seems like a strange place for a swim. I suppose you wouldn't know anything about the girl we just fished out over there.
He points to the little girl who rolled out the fish belly.
Sotheby!
Wait, where's Sotheby? She's still breathing. The air trap in the fish belly must have saved her life. Lopera crawls over to her companion and smacks her back, helping her spit out the water in her lungs.
Hey, can you hear me?
Easy now, Lopera. We just cut her out of that fish's belly.
Sotheby coughs out the water in her lungs as she regains consciousness.
You're a veritable Jonah, aren't you?
A familiar face appears in her blurred vision.
I dreamt of a very, very big fish. And I was in its belly. It was as wide as the sky. I couldn't breathe. A terribly strange dream, Mr. Carson.
She's awake!
Mr. Carson?
So it is Duncan. I didn't think of it. This is him, the man from the photograph, is standing before her. She freezes.
You... How?
The water slowly clears from her vision. The face before her is both familiar and strange. She knows it, yet she doesn't.
There's a little dirt on me. Here, and on the collar too. Oh goodness. Why am I here? What?
Mr. Carson kneels beside her, but he's wearing some very odd clothes.
Could it really be you, Mr. Carson?
Oh, so do we miss Mr. Carson so much?
Carson? You must be mistaken, little lady. My name is Duncan. I'm a friend of Lopera.
That's right. Sotheby, this is Duncan from the Veterans Residence. We've known each other for a long time. You must be confusing him with someone else.
Now, up on your feet, little lady.
But he almost like acting the same though. Like gentleman butler, you know. He takes her arm and pulls her out of the mud.
Mr. Carson!
She's still trying to pushing the idea.
Oh, sorry. It's just... I didn't expect you to suddenly pull my arm.
Pardon me, little lady. We tend to be very straightforward here in the favela.
It's quite alright. Only... No, I just don't understand. You look exactly like Mr. Carson. How could you be anyone else? Except for your attire. And those shoes.
Her butler would never dress like this, shockless, with patched-up clothing. She noticed the liquid swirling in his cup.
And the liquor?
No, her butler would never drink in front of the lady of the house. Sotheby decides to take a bold guess. She jumps up and nervously grabs Mr. Duncan's shirt.
Oh, pardon me, little miss. Are you not comfortable with us drinking? Galeno, put the cup away for me, please.
No, I only meant... Mr. Carson, it truly seems as though you've forgotten everything. Oh, but I'm being terribly unladylike.
She's still forcing the idea. She rambled incoherently. This behavior is totally against the lady's code of conduct, yet Mr. Carson remains utterly unfazed.
Still, you don't seem to mind at all.
Growing increasingly confused, Sotheby lowers her head, still clutching the hem of Mr. Carson's shirt.
I must be a dead ringer for this guy to have gotten you all flustered, little miss. Seems like you cared very deeply for this Mr. Carson.
Yes, I did. So then, you really aren't him.
Oh no!
Sorry to disappoint, little lady, but I'm flattered by the resemblance. Maybe I can be your friend too. In fact, feel free to call me Carson.
Oh.
Why not? A rose by any other name, eh?
This is so wholesome. The old man hooks his pinky with Sotheby and presses his thumb firmly against hers.
Mr. Carson.
I know how hard it can be. I lost my wife and my comrade in arms. I even managed to lose his daughter after I promised to take care of her. She'd have been just about your age. I'm rambling again. I suppose what I'm saying is, I know what it feels like to lose someone you love.
She looks lost, unsure of what to think, but she still holds onto the old man's hand, seemingly making a small promise with him. Looking around, Sotheby realizes someone important is missing. Bertin is just an afterthought.
Oh no. But what about Miss Burton? We've lost her. Where could she be now? We must find her.
Slow down. We need to think things through first. Those knuckleheads blew up the entire ship. Which means our comms belong to the Caymans now.
Everything is in disarray. There's no way to contact the timekeeper. They don't even know if she's alive.
Not to worry. I've been through worse. Back in '82 on the Rio Negro... Before I go rambling on again, let's head back to the city. Come on now. Trust good old Duncan.
Trust Mr. Carlson.
Sorry, I mean Carson. Trust Carson to lead the way.
I need to look at Mr. Carson again. Maybe this is the younger version of him that I didn't notice. Okay, I'm gonna do that off stream. Was this a church? It's a chapel. A man in black lifts a fallen statue. Oh, is it the guy? The one that played Gamble with?
I've never wanted to put San Paulo through this chaos.
He shields the faint flame in his hand, reigniting the candles one by one.
Order, peace, unity. Those are my purposes. Much has been wagered here, Marcando. Much. Now it has been lost.
Your Reverence, it was Zeno. Those animals. We'll make them pay for what they did. Is that why you've decided to grace us with your presence, Your Reverence? There is a lot to do if we're going to recover the ground I've lost, Your Reverence. And there's something more. A new doctor down at the veterans' residence.
The one that the blind girl?
Some blind woman. I would not bother you with it, Lord Santos. Except that she's been helping people in the favela, and it is swaying them towards Zeno.
Then this doctor is with Zeno.
She must be. She's always at the veterans' residence, Spends most of the day with those old war dogs.
His expression is tense as he mops the sweat from his forehead.
A doctor gaining the trust of the people in the favela. She'd make quite the prize, wouldn't you say, Marcando? A much more valuable bargaining chip to Zeno than a few deserters.
Marcando understands perfectly. In Sao Paulo, kidnapping are as common as bread. What?
You will see this task through, Marcando. But before that, we need to pay a visit to the favela. I've brought us some new blood.
See? Just like this. Wrap the wire around it. Better do it twice. And align the red and black. Slowly.
He delicately connects the copper wires and the current buzzes to life.
Unbelievable!
It's science, kids. Nothing unbelievable about it.
All fixed. He hands the communicator back to Lopera.
I don't know how to thank you, Duncan.
She straightens the antenna, adjusts the channel, and hurriedly contacts the base to report the situation.
Admiral, Lopera just called in.
Put her through.
Lopera, it's me. What happened?
Our ship was sunk. Miss Sotheby and I washed ashore near the favelas. As for the timekeeper, she went overboard. We lost sight of her in the commotion. Her current status is unknown.
The Admiral remains expressionless. He raises a finger, signaling Moldir to inquire further.
We'll send people to find her and escort her to the veterans' residence.
Additionally, Lieutenant, I have some fresh recruits eager to enroll with Zeno. But they will need the Admiral's assurances that their families will be under our protection.
Moldir looks at the Admiral. He nods in agreement.
They have it. What's their ETA?
They'll leave at once.
Hera.
That little hothead.
Sir, your orders.
Leave the matter to me, Moldir. I will send someone to take care of this.
Moldir falls silent as she looks at her aging father, concern in her eyes. Silence spreads between father and daughter as the Admiral focuses on the dice in his hand. Oh, what was that? Was it like a bug?
What did the Admiral say?
He agreed.
Did you hear that? Zeno will protect us!
Good news indeed. The young man claps his hand in excitement. But just as the celebration starts, it is cut abruptly short.
I have no doubt. They were working for the Brotherhood.
The Apostles' Brotherhood. They've bounced back quicker than I'd hoped. Still, we need to be cautious. Figure out just what they're after.
That guy looks familiar.
Is the stranger she met on the ship. He's walking among the Brotherhood.
That's him! He was on the ship with me.
Which one? The pirate? He talks toward the crowd, passing out food and other useful items to those he passes.
The Brotherhood
this
has
guy.
experienced a setback, yes. As all great causes do. But we will rise again, for we serve the one true purpose. Hear me now, brothers and sisters, fellow Arcanists. Our days of anguish and deprivation are over. This sufferer will walk among us once more, and we will bask in their divine grace. The day of triumph draws near. Soon our wagers will pay off. All will reap what we have sown. You only need stand with us and take their blessings. In return for this, they ask only for your unwavering allegiance.
He pulls paper bills from his suitcase and throws them into the crowd. Yet the crowd remains still in their confusion.
My brothers and sisters, speak. What do you seek?
No one answers him.
Senor, please. We only want to see our family again. Since they've joined the Brotherhood, we've had no word. We haven't seen or heard from them at all.
Nothing is more important than family. It's like I'm playing Fast and Furious. And isn't that like also there's one scene where Toretto is in Brazil also? This is Brazil!
But you will see them again soon. I tell you that they are even now faithfully serving our kind in a new land of prosperity. They're in Ushuaia, in Antarctica, in all places where the past and the future converge. There will be no more poverty, no more hatred, no more chaos. We shall reclaim what's rightfully ours. Remember this. Humans are vile and sinful creatures. They tortured our men and women, leaving our children to cry in hunger and desperation. But they've already played their hand. All their reason, their science, and their despicable organizations. They raise these rotten edifices to weaken us and leech off of our misfortunes, to blind us from our true purpose. But no longer. Soon their games will be over, and every injustice and oppression they've held over our people will be returned tenfold. All that they've built will crumble down over their heads.
The crowd whisper in hushed tones, afraid to speak any louder. Hiding nearby, Duncan quietly leans over to Lopera and whispers a few words before handing her a rabbit patch.
Tell me, my fellow brothers and sisters, what is evil?
No one answers. The murmurs of the crowd quickly fade, creating a heady silence. A few crows fly low overhead.
Evil is the absence of good. And to find what is good is to follow our path. The High One has promised us strength and glory.
Is it the mass? Is it the mass? Two followers carry a box, emanating a sinister aura over to him. He opens it, revealing the blessing of the sufferer for all to see.
Come with me!
Seriously, Manus has like one of the most fashionable outfit in the game, but the mask is just so freaking ugly. He throws open his arm as he calls out once more, taking a step back in humble reference to the sufferer's glory.
That's a Manus mask.
In that nightmare back in 1929, disaster struck because of the people who wore this mask. The memory is still vivid in Sotheby's mind.
sorrow will weaken you, and fear may seize your hearts. Instead, let faith be your guide. Those who take that leap shall find themselves lifted up on the Apostles' wings, while those who hesitate will be scorched by the fires at their feet. I have said all that must be said. We'll meet again here in 3 days' time.
He leaves them with a gracious and generous deadline.
Don't listen to him! He's a lunatic!
The little lady bravely steps forward, fervently warning the crowd.
And just who are you?
Why can't you just wait until they're gone first, Sotheby?
Marcando.
Do we have the firepower to fight them? Santos quickly stops his subordinate.
As students of the truth, we have been granted a much stronger weapon than violence.
Lopera, follow my lead.
He stands beside Sotheby, taking her hand in his.
Sir, please forgive her. She has mistaken you for those pirates on the Tiete River.
So just a misunderstanding then? I'm no lunatic after all?
Yes, Your Reverence. She came across a terrible raid on her way here, you see. The poor girl was left terrified.
Well, I'll need more than a few words to convince my friends we have not been insulted.
The fuck? Loyalty without tribute cannot be trusted.
I'm an old man with nothing to give you but the truth. Believe me, sir, I came all this way just for you. I want to join the Brotherhood.
His words surprise everyone. Those who know Duncan are shocked, and those who don't are confused.
She didn't mean to offend any of the gentlemen here. Please, sir, she's only a kid.
Of course. I try never to take offense at a sweet young lady. However, if I'm to believe you, I will need you to up your ante to prove you are worthy, sir.
The old man kneels just as he did when he played the role of Carson for Sotheby.
If that's what you need, Lord, allow me to sweeten the deal. See that guy over there? His name is Galeno. He's been recruiting for Zeno. He told me so himself.
He turns and points at Galeno in the crowd. Is he gonna shoot him?
Duncan?
Bring the young man closer, Marcando.
Are you out of your mind? Don't touch me!
He tries to flee, but the thugs rush at him on command. What's the plan?
It's an honor to meet you. To the right.
Charging.
It is here.
Now I don't have to discard it. Oh shit, it's actually dodged it.
Take a deep breath.
The enemy is actually really annoying. How many does she have? 80.
To the left.
Loading. Charging.
This'll help.
Aim and shoot.
Okay, is it in physical or just gonna dodge everything? Dodge any non-ultimate attack. Okay.
To the right. I can hear it. Regaining control of our bodies. Take a deep breath. By cupping the moon in the palm of my hand.
Loading.
It is here. stars in the sky. The curtain.
In the chaos of the battle, Lopera grabs Sodomy, and they hop onto a small wooden boat.
Let's go.
Eh? What about the dude that want to join Zeno? Surrounded, Galeno finally stops his struggle when a knife is pressed to his throat.
I admire your courage, but bravery alone won't protect you from harm. Tell me, son, is what he said the truth of it?
He turns his head, refusing to respond.
Now, you'll give me the names of Zeno's new recruits. Who are they?
A drop of blood falls from Galeno's neck as the cold blade of the knife presses into his skin.
Everyone! Every man and woman in this city that still has a shred of integrity!
Duncan punches Galeno squarely in the face, sending him reeling.
I'm not gonna harm you, kid. And if ever I do, remember that old Duncan must have his reasons, and he'd never harm a friend intentionally.
Galeno looks at him. He has the same old look on his face, determined, brave, and resolute.
This young man has one day to think it through. He will give us his names.
He sheathes his knife and hands Galeno over to his new companion.
Or he will give us his eyes and tongue as offerings. Mr. Duncan, let this task be set on you. Prove yourself worthy of our trust.
It will be my honor, your reverence.
Marcando, you'll stay with them. Don't forget what I told you earlier.
This place was once known for its inexhaustible mines, the riches of its rainforest.
I'm gonna skip this part.
That's a fear.
I'm gonna read it later.
No need to. Don't worry.
Okay, we are back to 14 and Anjo.
In the narrow streets, violence is so often more than just a means to ending conflicts. It is a tool, and one all too readily used. I must note, however, with some relief that segregation so commonly observed in other regions is absent here. The Arcanists of Sao Paulo live alongside humans, with the latter often displaying traits more common to their Arcanist neighbors. Passionate, if a bit touchy.
Is this Earth?
Life here is incomparable to the comfort, security, and freedom of New England. Hardship, violence, and oppression are the fundamentals of life. As constant as the sun, and as heavy as the rain.
Or the blind
This
lady.
country is renowned for its coffee and sugar. It is a land of beauty and bounty. Treasures too often extorted, whether by the princes of Europe and their donatarios, or now by the bankers and corporations. Despite all the centuries of treasures extracted from the land, desperation remains everywhere you look. It is a place where insurmountable wealth and the deepest deprivations our neighbors. Sometimes they lie only a street across from one another. The multinationals have cut open the country's throat, and now they drink it dry, leaving the people struggling with poverty and chaos. It is a bleak existence. Dear readers, I share this with you so the story of these people might be heard.
The doctor sits by the riverside. A small group of children gathered around her. They watch in awe as her typewriter hammers the letters onto the page.
Shippy, do you know, has life always been like this here?
Is it a camera or typewriter?
If you ask me, Doc, San Paulo in 1990 isn't much different from Nassau 1681.
It's a shame. Between the sunshine and warm sands, there is a good life to be lived here, if only they were free enough to live it.
The summer is long, just like the suffering of these people.
I used to dream of traveling to all sorts of fascinating places. A foggy city by the Thames, and a little town blanketed in snow and sunflowers. I met so many different people, though I find I can no longer recall their voices. I have only their words left, only my records of them.
Have you heard of a weed down at the bottom of Lake Ilapango? The people there turn it into a polenta with cornmeal. Supposedly, if you have it, you'd recall every last thing that's ever happened to you. Every bit of it.
Wow! What's a weed called?
The children turn to the ship in the bottle, their eyes filled with curiosity.
They call it La Hierba del Tonto, Spanish for the fool's weed. You see, lad, only a fool would want to remember everything. Sometimes a little forgetfulness is a blessing in disguise.
I beg to differ, Shippy. To forget the past, its lessons in pain and joy alike, that isn't a blessing. It's oblivion. But let's not argue over some mythical weed. For all the claims, no one has ever seen it. Just another myth, like the succubus or the minotaur.
Aye, aye, let's talk about succubi instead. That's sure to get the lads pricking up their ears.
Of course it is. At the mention of this, the little ship goes off again.
Back in 1688 of course, our chief mate Mr. Morgan had an encounter with a succubus after he found her seal while carousing in Portobello. If the rumors tell true, once he got a hold of it, she grabbed a hold on him too. I couldn't say what transpired, but we never saw hide nor hair of him again.
No one can debunk her stories, but no one really believed them either. The children's curiosity fades, and their eyes start to wander. One of them spots two big fish floating in the water. I don't think it's fish.
Look over there! Something's in the water!
Two figures float among the trash in the river, spluttering and choking. One is clinging on to the other as they struggle to swim to shore.
What the devil is all that commotion?
Hey, wake up! Hey, stay with me! Can you hear me? Hello?
Kimberly pats her fallen companion's face. No response.
She's still breathing. Why won't she wake up?
Whew. What happened to the lass?
The little ship makes its ways over, followed closely by the children and the doctor. Seeing the group of strangers approaching, Kimberly tenses up.
Miss, are you all right? Is there anything we can do?
Yes, I'm fine. The ship went down.
Blow me down. These waters are getting rougher by the day.
I like her. The little ship sways back and forth in its bottle, showing off its excellent condition.
And we drifted down the river until we reached the shore here.
A long way to go, only to end up in the favela.
I know she's traveling with her friends, but I don't know where they could be now. Everything happened so fast.
Shippy, what's going on? Are there people that need care? What's their condition?
Just one, alas. She's still breathing, but she looks like she's been keelholed for a bit too long.
Oh yeah, like how can she be a doctor though, if she's blind?
Miss, please lay her down on her side.
Kimberly does as she is told.
What are you going to do to her?
The doctor kneels down, skillfully clearing the girl's mouth of any residue before starting chest compression.
Save her, if I can.
One push, another. It's a professional instinct, the duty of a doctor. An unexplainable impulse drives her to revive the drowning girl. The girl coughs up some water. The doctor continues.
Good, good. She'll make it. Please, make sure her airway's clear.
She coughed out more water, but she still lies there unable to move.
Are you sure about that, Doc? The lass looks paler than a ghost. I think she's burning up.
The doctor touches her forehead. It's burning hot.
You're right. We'll need to take her back with us. I'll fix some medicine for her. Would you give me a hand, miss? Help her up on my back.
Kimberly obediently helps the blind doctor lift the feverish girl onto her back.
Oh. She's almost as light as a child.
The children run ahead, pulling aside the hanging clothes for them to pass.
I need to run some tests and see if it's just an ordinary fever, or if she has contracted something from the water.
How though?
Don't worry. You're safe with us.
The doctor speaks to herself, or perhaps in reassurance to the unconscious girl.
Where are we going? Wait up!
Home.
Kimberly catches up to the doctor, only now realizing how far they've walked. She steps into the doctor's home. So I'm guessing it's still like the different town than the one from Is it a cat? It is a cat. A fan whirs loudly, yet the room is just as hot as the outside. The doctor gently lays the unconscious girl down, resting her head on her lap. She lightly strokes her flushed face.
So you weren't even traveling together, and still you brought her all the way here. You have a good heart, Miss Kimberly.
You flatter me, Doctor. It was only that the current pushed her to my side when we all fell into the water. And I just couldn't forgive myself if I were to let her drown.
An accident or perhaps fate.
In fact, she and I had met briefly before, in Texas. We didn't part on the best terms.
Sometimes we find ourselves in quarrels, even among friends.
No. We were not friends. We tried to kill each other.
No, we aren't.
Shh. We should let her get some rest.
Kimberly falls silent. She squats down, watching her the way a cat peers at a sleeping baby.
May I touch her?
Wait,
Fever is one of the
can't
biggest
breathe if you
dangers
close
here,
the nose.
though it's still better than diarrhea and vomiting. I'll take her to the veterans' residence for further treatment once her condition stabilizes.
It almost looks like she's only sleeping.
Are you two really not friends? Seems to me that you cared for her.
It's
very
weird,
much.
yeah. How is Anju's feeling?
She helped me. She was kind to me on the ship. The bloody ship. I don't know what happened.
Shh. Hush, please.
The doctor presses a finger against her lips, a gentle smile on her face.
My apologies.
She has the face of a guilty child.
As I said, it was only twice that we'd met. And somehow, both times turned out quite terrible for me.
The doctor strokes the feverish patient's hair. It's beautiful, almost the same color as hers. Actually, yeah. There's like
Her hair is so silky. It's smooth and soft, like fine rain in my hands.
Wasn't it like a theory like this is her mother? Which is, I don't know. I don't think she is. The doctor gently combs her the hair with her fingers, slowly untangling the matted strands.
First it was Tuesday's motel. Things had turned into a right mess, and I didn't find what I'd lost. Then, in that manner, just as I was about to enjoy a bit of dinner, that wild girl burst in. They caught me, threw me into a tower, and locked me up. I was stuck there, waiting like a lamb to be slaughtered.
But you've made it through. You're safe with us. No one is going to hurt you here.
Thank you, Doctor.
Kimberly gently takes the feverish girl's hand into her own. It's slim and slightly rough to the touch. The blurred memory of her sister comes to mind, as well as the wrinkled, warm faces of her old friends cheering her on.
Goodbye.
Oh no, don't leave her! Satisfied that she has paid her back for her kindness on the ship, Kimberly leaves through the back door. The little ship in a bottle is waiting for her on the other side.
Leaving your friends so soon, lass? Well, come as you are. I'll give you a lift. Perhaps we might have a bit of an old jaw along the way. After all, it's rare indeed to see one of your kind out and about these days.
What kind?
A lift? Pardon me, madam, but I'm not sure you could bring me anywhere. You're a little too small and a little too stuck in that bottle.
Wait, I thought it's the hand. So she's the ship? A galleon born from the 16th century dreams of exploration. She awakened in slumber once again until now, time in which there are no more uncharted lands to uncover.
Climb aboard, matey. So where's our heading? Or shall we go for a ride on the river?
I always thought
Don't
like
be shy. I aim to make
I
a
thought
friend
like
of you.
her body kind of invisible, and it's her hand that only can see. Apparently she's the ship, which is funny. Kimberly looks hesitant.
Don't be shy. I let the little ones play on my deck all the time, climbing here and there, like a bunch of cheerful little monkeys. And not just them. I ferry the good doctor from here to the veterans' residence too. You'll have to wait till we reach the sea to see me at my full size.
Whoa! So it's not even your final form?
Once the water opens up, that's when I'm really free.
Don't tell me it's gonna really an actual ship.
Now, I ask
Like
again.
literally a
Where
galleon.
are we going, mate? Can't just let the wind decide our course.
Why not? I should like to go somewhere nobody will ever find me.
Confusion, chaos, escape. Perhaps tomorrow will be just like all those yesterday.
I'm afraid there's precious few places like that anymore, lass. I've spied the globes they've got nowadays. Seems like every last step has covered the four corners and back. But aren't you a strange sight, lass? You know, I've seen your kind before. Beautiful to look at, aye. But there's a darkness in you that lies beneath the surface, isn't there? But you're not like the rest of them, you'd say. Well, I would sooner believe in a map to El Dorado before I'd swallow the idea of a succubus with a heart of gold.
Oh, she is a succubus.
So, is that girl your master? Did she have your seal? If that were true, then heart of gold or coal wouldn't matter for none. You'd be as thick as old tar.
She's been found out. She's a member of an ancient race once wanted, even hunted, and now forgotten by the world. A few seagulls land on the boat's edge, joining them on their journey.
What? Are you wondering what gave you away? Your gloves don't do much to hide those claws. I could feel them pressing on my railings as soon as you hopped on.
Kimberly immediately hides her hands behind her back. Her reaction betrays her.
No use hiding them now, matey.
Her hearty laugh sends ripples through the water.
You!
Kimberly scratches the mast with her claw, but the small protest does nothing to dissuade the ship.
Are you going to turn me in?
She looks around. This place looks safe enough. Just one small leap and she will be back on solid ground.
Turn you in? And how do you suppose I do that? I'm only a ruddy ship. Bring me back up on land and I'll be stuck right back in the bottle.
Oh, so that is how it is. So if she's in the water, she becomes an actual ship.
No, lass. I've sailed with rougher folks than you. My old captain had a bounty on her head, too.
She's a fugitive, hiding like a frightened bird. Thunder rumbles in the distance, scattering the birds perched on the roofs on either side of the river. It makes her quiver, but for the boat, it brings back fond memories of sailing the roaring western lights with her captain. Rain starts to pour, the wind picks up, filling the ship's sails and racing her down the river.
Well, Just so you know, I very much doubt they'll pay you anything for handing me over.
Maybe so, maybe so. Now, you've got the law in your tailwind. What happened? Did you spring loose from the old gibbet? Mark me now, young lass. If you're going to try to pull one over on me, you'll have to do a lot better job than that.
That same old trick.
Are you mocking me? This is not how one ought to treat a new friend.
Quite right, lass. So then, who are your pursuers? And your master? Shouldn't you be under his protection? My old crew would say any captain that can't keep a ship safe is only good for bait.
I have no idea where he is, or where my seal is for that matter. He was a no-good fool, though. Or only good for bait, perhaps.
Who is her master? Is this still the same guy that freed her?
I hope he's dead, rotting in some sewer back in San Francisco.
That's where the Florida to the Golden City happened, right? The rain stops, brief and intense, just like her escape.
Well, mortal flesh doesn't last long. I've ferried many a passenger in my days, and none yet have escaped when Davy Jones came calling their name. As I recall, the first that went was William Halfleg. He lost the other half in a fight at the port of Southampton, hanged on the governor's orders. And Edward the Red Hand, a nasty piece of work from the Low Countries, loved a bit of throat cutting, until he got his own throat slit by some fool in a ramshackle pub on Tortuga.
She fondly remembers every one of her crew. Though they all died hundreds of years ago, it still feels like yesterday to her.
Sounds as though they got what they deserved.
That they did, lass. They all got what they deserved. Some hanged, some drowned, some we marooned on a desert isle with naught but a pistol and a flagon of rum. I've been to Plymouth, Nassau, Port Royal. I once even slipped into Seville disguised as a merchantman to smuggle pepper and cinnamon. Wherever the captain wanted to go, we sailed.
An exciting, dangerous life, yet ordinary in its own way. The countless cannonball scars in her hull alone tell the story.
But one by one, Davy took them all. Now here I am, a ship without a captain, my own master. I suppose that's a lot to take in. You ever thought about living a different life? To set sail for some far corner of the sea? Living on spiced rum and jerky thick as a buccaneer's hide? How's that sound, lass? Not that I'm saying we set sail today. It's only a bit of old fancy.
I really can't say, Chippy. I suppose I can't. Not yet, at least. There is something important I need to retrieve.
That's Captain White-Rum to you. The ship of a captain and captain of the ship.
I prefer... Wait. Sorry.
Is she got motion weakness? Sickness? As the ship's dock, she leaps back ashore, doubles over in an alleyway, and retches.
Seasick? I hadn't thought your kind capable of it.
I didn't expect this, either.
The can rolls over, gently hitting her foot. Annoyed, she kicks it away. Not far away, a few boys have been practicing their soccer skill with it. One mischievous boy kicks the can back toward Kimberly.
What now?
This time she picks up the can. and angrily throws it at the boy's head.
Caramba! I like this girl, she's feisty.
He straightened himself up as he slowly makes his way toward her, a cocky grin on his face.
We're with the Brotherhood, Gorota.
What?
You apologize, now we might just let you go. Don't you know that Lord Santos is back? We can make this rougher for you if you like.
Careful, me lads. I wouldn't pull those knives. Things may go rougher than you'd bargained for.
We're actually fighting a kid.
Embrace rather than resist.
At the start of the round, rewrite to random alike incantation with the precision event. Precision incantations have special marker on their border. When casting a precision incantation in the precision slot, the incantation ignores dodging. Make use of this to encounter enemy in a dodge stance. Catch them one way or another. So I have to use this thing? Oh, 3 turns? Seriously?
I can hear it. The right, it is here. The left, I can hear it. It is here. Listen.
Eh? I thought it's supposed to dodge it. I thought they ignore dodge.
Attack. The light that illuminates all.
The left.
Loading.
The right. This'll help.
Barrage.
Journey.
I don't understand. Wait, but the last one is hit though.
Take a deep breath.
Oh, you're so dead. Oh god damn it.
I cup in your name in the palm of my hand. I am the waves in the ocean and the stars in the sky. Now, to preserve this memory,
The boys are no match for her. Obviously, you're fucking succubus.
Not so tough now, are you boys? Try this again, and I'll make a mince out of what's left of you.
She angrily kicks the can into the river. Littering!
I know your fathers, me boys, and I think they wouldn't be none too happy to hear you claiming to be with the Brotherhood.
Let go. We're wasting our time here.
The boys scurry off, muttering under their breath.
Bilge rats, the lot of them. Not even fit for the apostles. Brotherhood always lets their knives do the talking. If there'd been any doubt of what you are, lass, that fight sure cleared it up.
But she's back to the doctor place? What?
listen up. We're the Apostles' Brotherhood, not some worthless favela gang. So we start off nice and easy. And if the doc doesn't play along, well, then we make her play along. Claro?
I thought she was watching the Duncan. The feverish girl looks to be doing much better than before. Dr. Doris is crouched beside the bed, gently wiping her face. A few uninvited guests burst in.
Hola. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Hey, is she really blind?
I'm afraid yes. But please don't worry. I'm more than able to treat all my patients. Are you feeling unwell, sir?
Mercado glances at the patient on the stretcher and signals to his men. I want to see her eyes. I know she's blind, but I think she has pretty eyes. His dogs quickly surround the patient.
Sir?
We heard that you're a good doctor. We got someone who needs your help. You're Dr. Doris from the Veterans Residence, right?
Yes. And may I know who you are? I won't turn away a patient, but I'll also need some assurance that you can be trusted, sir.
So, is she coming with us or not?
He kicks over a cabinet, causing the test tubes within to smash in a small explosion on the floor.
Did you hear that?
Sounds like some kind of explosion near the clinic. Should we go back?
It could be an accident, but she's got away with her equipment. Doubtful she's the cause of this. Steady on then. Let's hurry back and see for ourselves. That's not how you treat a doctor, lads.
The thugs instinctively draw their knives, a habit developed in their line of work.
What are you doing to her?
Lord Santos would like to have a word with the doctor. That's all.
You're not taking her anywhere. Don't you see she's taking care of this girl?
She bares her claws, digging her heels into the ground.
Yeah, I'm not asking for permission, sweetheart.
Marcando snaps his fingers.
Grab the doctor. Ice the rest of them.
Embrace rather than resist.
Wait. At the start of the round, rewrite two random allied incantation with the precision effect. When the precision incantation is played from the rightmost precision slot of the spell dock, the attack against critical rate, precision rate at 100% equals dodge. The rightmost. So it has to be the last. It's really hard.
I can hear it. Charging. This'll help.
The light that illuminates all.
Wait, it's still dodge. What the hell? Oh, the rightmost spell dock, not AP. Oh shit. So this one is the one that's supposed to be. But it's already gone. I cannot test it. God damn. I'm curious. I'm seriously curious.
Look.
Aim and shoot.
Okay, right now.
Embrace rather than resist.
So this one has precision, yeah? So this one's supposed to be able to damage
I
them.
can hear it. It is here. control of our bodies.
Boom! Ah!
Loading.
Now it's all gone already, so who cares?
Charging. The light that illuminates all.
Let's go ham.
And now, to return to my long-term...
Kimberly claps the head of a duck in her claw, poised to crush it, but she hesitates, glancing back at the doctor.
Stop. Enough. I won't have you fighting in my clinic.
Kimberly releases her grip.
Doctor?
But they've got the girl, Doctor.
The feverish girl unconscious body has been thrown over the shoulder of one of the thugs.
This lady definitely isn't from the favela. So what's she doing here?
She's ill. She needs my help. That is all I ever ask.
Well, all we need is you, Doc. So how's about we make a deal? You come with us, we let the rest of your friends go. Understood?
So be it.
She doesn't hesitate to accept.
Please, Doctor, stand aside. I'll happily take care of these rats.
I have no doubt about that, miss. However, once violence starts and blood is spilled, there will be no end to it. For now, I would be happy to meet with the Senor Santos and seek out a peaceful resolution. I'll come with you.
See? We can all be friends.
The thug pushes the feverish girl toward Kimberly.
Martin!
Kimberly catches her, holding her tightly in her arms.
If she doesn't wake up tonight, take her to the veterans' residence first thing in the morning.
All right, get the doctor straight to his reverence.
Oh no, Doris has been kidnapped. A long sleep with no dreams, no worries, no troubles, no thoughts, like being back in a warm, dark, damp room. She awakes to an unfamiliar place. It's quiet and strange.
Have a good rest, did you, Sleeping Beauty?
Martin!
She seems so happy.
You've missed quite a bit. All terrible, I'm afraid.
A talking ship inside a bottle. A tiny floating fortress on the water, and beside her, a worried Miss Kimberly.
Where am I?
You and this lass were drifting down the river after your ship went down. You'd have met Dr. Doris had you woken up a little sooner.
Doctor?
Dr. Doris. Yes.
She's a doctor from the veterans' residence. She saved you from the very claws of death. She...
She can't walk. Her body is still too heavy.
Aye, you were burning up, lass. But the good doctor pulled you through. She was right there by your bedside the whole time. The good news is, we think she's still alive.
Still alive? What's the bad news then?
The bad news is she's been snatched up by the Apostles' Brotherhood.
What?
Rest now, lass. They aren't likely to hurt her for now. You'll need your strength for later. Some scallywag by the name of Santos wanted to have a word with her. so they said.
Everything has gone to hell since that ship sank.
But Lepera and Sotheby, where are they?
There's a shooting pain in her arm.
I remember we all fell into the water.
I'm sorry, I didn't see them. We washed ashore together.
My map. Have you seen it? I have to get to the veterans' residence. They may very well be waiting for me there.
Come on your feet.
Well, I may be just the ship to get you there, ladies.
After instructing his men to take Dr. Doris to their chapel hideout, Marcando walks over to Duncan, who is watching over a group of hostages. So Duncan is already actually acting for them.
You're a clever one, viejo. I like working with your type.
The hostages, Galeno among them, are lined up on their knees, their hands tied behind their backs. Marcando has ordered they be taken to the manor.
Much appreciated. I've tried to pick up a thing or two over the years.
Wondering what his plan is.
You've had plenty of time to learn, a man of your age. By the way, what about that girl? Where'd she go?
Sotheby is missing. Lopera was bring her.
Dunno. Maybe got scared away. You know how little rich girls are. I'm certain she's found her way back to her daddy's bodyguards. She'll be no cause for concern.
Fine. No need to worry about this spoiled little girl. Now this bastard, on the other hand.
Marcando kicks Galeno hard in the stomach.
Leave the boy be. He's not got much time left if he doesn't give up those names.
His eyes dart around, keenly scanning his surrounding. Marcando had left with about a dozen men, but he's only come back with 9.
Hot enough out here? Luckily, I've got a bit of vino left. You a fan of wine, Senor Marcando? I'll fetch some for us, and all the brothers and sisters here. Let's drink to the Brotherhood and the opportunities that lie ahead.
You old fox, I see your game. But why not? We could all use a drink.
You, over there! Keep a watch on this guy. Don't let him get away.
He gives Galeno a kick in the backside as he leaves. I wonder if Galeno already know his plan, actually. Old Duncan waits by the water. Old Duncan waits by the water, his eyes anxiously fixed upstream. Eventually, a small boat carrying Lopera and a few men row into view.
Finally.
The boat docks and they jump ashore one by one, carrying spiked wine in their hands.
Duncan, you nearly had me there. When did you plan all this?
I've had it brewing for a while, but things have been changing fast lately. Honestly, I didn't expect to be doing this now.
He counts the men, just 6 of them, fewer than expected, but enough.
There's enough snoring syrup in the wine now to put them all in a dreamy, deep, deep sleep. Oh, but might it have had a stronger effect if I had included a dash of slumber belladonna in the recipe?
Why don't you just poison them?
This will be more than enough, little lady. We only need to get them to drink the wine. Then?
Oh, then you must drink this. Just a drop.
She rummaged around in her skirt for the potion. Eventually, she produces a bottle of thick pine green liquid.
It will stay on your tongue and prickle around in your mouth. That way you won't drift off like the others. I've concocted much tastier potions before, but this one...
Memories of her past experiments come flooding back, almost bringing her to tears.
It'll do just fine. Thank you, little lady.
He smiles as he takes the bottle and downs its content. He raises his flute, signaling the next step of the plan.
Pass me the wine and wait for my signal. When you hear me playing this flute, you'll know it's time to strike. The wine's here! Courtesy of an old friend from Mexico. Take a glass, everyone.
Here's to His Reverence's good health.
To His Reverence's health.
Why he doesn't look like a Mexican?
To Marcando. To the invincible
Almost looks like
Brotherhood.
someone from Yakuza.
To Marcando!
The flattery and alcohol have successfully lowered Marcando's guard.
Duncan, that's your flute. Give it over.
Marcando snatches Duncan's flute and looks it over.
This is a fine flute. Duncan, did you said that you got a friend in Mexico? Huh? You know that old Mexican song, La Llorona?
Can't blow the flute just yet. A few men are still awake.
That I do! I learned it from the best! In the cactus back in Tulum. From a fine young lady with silky hair and gentle eyes as dark as coffee.
An improvised lie, but there's truth in it. The cactus bar in Tulum is real, at least.
Claro. So, how fine was this chica? Huh?
What? Chica? It seems beautiful ladies are much more interesting than music to him.
Don't let me start spinning that yarn. It'll be no fun for you to watch an old man bursting into tears.
Lies and fake tears, Duncan acting wouldn't fool the sober. But with his audience under the influence of alcohol and potions, he just might get away with it.
I'll only say I was heartbroken by the time I left. That love of mine. Anyway, enough about the old flames of yesterday. Let's raise a glass to a better tomorrow.
To poor old Duncan.
To poor old Duncan.
Duncan adeptly retrieved his flute before pouring out more drink. Luckily, Marcando didn't blow the flute. He feigns joy, drinking and laughing with his new friends until they are too drunk to stand. Every one of them is utterly inebriated. Marcando and his hounds pass out one by one until they are all fast asleep.
It's time.
He blows the flute and his companions jump into action.
Good. Good music.
Oh.
Who are you?
You still can notice?
Program activated.
Ah, goddamn it! It also have, and the right one is the. This is not good. I'm just gonna buff everyone.
The right. Is the sea breeze screaming? I can hear it.
Oh shit! I forgot that I can do 3. What am I supposed to do with this?
Beautiful. Rien n'a fait prendre à moi.
Tu peux la jeter maintenant, la charme d'Opel.
It is here. Charging. Loading.
To the left.
Whoa.
Is the sleeping? I can hear it screaming. The right. Beautiful. They said. This will help. Rien n'a fait prendre à moi.
It is here. Charging. Loading.
I can hear it.
Oh, this lens.
Barrage.
Whoa! I thought it's a boss battle.
Target confirmed.
The curtain.
Lopera! Galeno! Come on, give me a hand!
Pinche traidor!
Time to cash you out.
He pins the struggling Marcando to the ground.
You'll be begging for Lord Santos' mercy.
Be reasonable, kid! The Brotherhood is finished! Your time's up!
He pulls the knife from Galeno's waist and finishes Marcando's off the Sao Paulo way. Did he kill him?
Don't let them slip away!
Mr. Carson, but...
Whoa, did he just kill him? She swallows her words. No, her butler would never do something like this. This is the raw, fierce power of a man who has lived on the streets of the favela. Meanwhile, Lopera catches up to a fleeing thug and cracks him over the head with the butt of her gun.
Let me.
He picks up a metal bat and stands over the fallen thug in front of Lopera.
Think you can handle this?
Yeah, I've got it.
He swallows hard and aims at the spot where the gun butt had struck.
For the favela, the Brotherhood must go!
Whoa! Didn't expect that. They're actually really fierce. The battle is over.
Sorry to put you through all that, kid.
Don't mention it. If this means we can get rid of them for good, it'll all be worth it. So what's next?
Next, Zeno will come around to pick you up. But first, we've got to get back to the veterans' residence.
Unease spreads among the group. They exchange a few glances.
No, senor. One of you has to stay. The people need to see you, or they'll worry that you've deserted us.
I can make it there on my own. Stay with them, Duncan.
And me!
Surprisingly, she already forgot about the part where Duncan actually killed people. An unexpected volunteer steps forward.
I've seen there are many sick children here in the favela. I'm certain that I could do something to help them.
With your poison.
I'm not sure it's a good idea, Sotheby. The favelas can be dangerous if you don't know them.
The brave young lady can stay with me if she likes. I'll keep her safe.
Galeno and the others nod.
What do you say to that, little lady?
Miss Sotheby is never afraid.
It's decided then. Lopera, Head for the veterans' residence. Tell them what happened and contact Admiral Igor from there.
All hesitation leaves Olopera's body once she hears her father's name.
Galeno, you've done us proud, kid. If I were king, I'd have made you a knight. Who knows? Maybe the little lady could do that for us. But first, young Galeno, we'll seek another deed worthy of knighthood. It's time we fight for our people.
But I'm curious, where is Ferdin? Where's the residence? That's not too far, actually. So Ferdin is here. She was here at the very least. And they are here. Interesting. But I think they went after Doris, aren't they? The route from the favela to the veteran residence is quite familiar to White Rum. She has ferried the doctor back and forth countless times.
You ever been to a veteran's residence? Not many young faces there, besides Lopera. As far as the doc goes, doubtful anyone knows her real age. And even the saltiest sailor knows better than to ask a lady her age. Ooh, I see that joke missed the bow, so to speak.
No. It wasn't a bad joke at all. Really.
No one's laughing though. A joke would usually warrant some kind of response.
Aye. Thanks for the kind words, lass. But best to leave old Flotsam where it lies.
Mamai Mariana from the veteran residence brings out some snack. There's plenty of sugar to go around in this neck of the woods.
Have you been feeling this sweet young lady's head with your tall-tailed shippy?
The little ship used to live with the doctor in the veteran residence, but today she returns alone. Another one of her 2 passengers is her old roommate.
Sorry to show up without proper notice.
Oh, don't worry about it. Any friend of Lopera is a friend of ours. Oh, if you'd come a couple of days earlier, we would have introduced you to Senor Duncan and Dr. Doris. But they've not been around in a while.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to meeting them. Hopefully we'll see them soon.
Kimberly wanders the courtyard. She's still on guard, but she seems to be oddly familiar with this place.
You know, I knew a girl who looked just like her. A caregiver here way back in the 60s. Back when this place was called Heartfelt Home.
She scratches the chin of the kitten in her arms.
But it can't be her now, can it? Besides, I'm old now, and my memory is a bit fuzzier than it used to be.
May I see Dr. Doris's room?
She wouldn't mind, but please be careful not to move anything. Is that one over there, dear? She never locks the door.
The place looks no different from the other rooms in the courtyard, but the door is slightly ajar. Green vines hang from the roof and the weathered walls bear the passage of time. It's a simple little home. Kimberly stands by the door. Oh, kitty! A stray cat in her arms. She scratches its belly. Ah!
How dare you scratch me!
The cat lifts out of Kimberly's arms, grabs hold of one of the vines, and clambers over the wall of the veteran's residence.
Get back here, you fluffy rapscallion! I'll have your tail, you hear me?
She's not as agile as she looks, or perhaps the kitten has made her soft. She fails to catch it, instead stumbling into the door, throwing it wide open, and hitting the floor with a thud.
Do be careful, Miss Kimberly.
How did that happen?
She's crying.
And how long have you been standing there?
Just a little while. Funny, I've never thought to open a door like that before. Come along, let's take a peek inside.
It's a rather ordinary guest room. Oh, is that a button? Except there's a peculiar white marble chair sitting by the window. It has a red button on the armrest. This tone seems sus. The marble feels familiar, but no memories come to mind. Odd how they both have some kind of familiarity with this place.
What's this red button on the chair?
Can we press it? The button seems totally out of place, as if daring someone to press it. I know, right? That makes any people too tempting to press the button. So obvious. Kimberly takes a seat and curiously presses the what? Despite her fervent pressing, nothing happens. Frustrated, she swings her legs over the other side of the chair.
Good for nothing.
A tasteless decoration. No one knows why this chair is in the doctor room. But pressing the button didn't trigger an explosion or anything of the like. It's simply a functionless, harmless little contraption. I wonder, like, is it maybe something that makes you immune to the storm or something. On the other side of the room, the doctor's desk holds a stack of manuscript.
These must be articles that she hasn't sent out yet.
Notes on the district of Sao Paulo, records of Arcanist in the favelas, investigation into plantation economies in northeastern Brazil.
She's a good woman. And her room smells like a good woman's room. You don't find many of those around these days.
What does it mean?
What makes you say so?
Well, firstly, she did save your life. And secondly, it's hard to explain. Good people have a smell. A pleasant one. My nose has never been wrong.
Burton. We'll bring her home safely. This typewriter seems like it's seen a lot of use. Do you see any drafts? Any samples?
I can't say. I'm not very familiar with these things.
Take a look. She signed something here. But I thought her name was Doris.
Could be Earth? There's a single word written at the bottom of the manuscript. She's Earth.
Mariana!
A familiar voice echoes from outside. Is it Mordil?
more visitors.
It's Lopera. She's safe. What? I feel like the silhouette looks like Mordil. But where's Sotheby?
Thank goodness. You survived too. What about Sotheby? Oh, something happened in the favela earlier, so she decided to stay there. Don't worry, Duncan's with her.
The fact that she's not responding like, Vertin, you're alive. She's like, yeah, something happened. So cold.
We've got bad news. Dr. Doras has been abducted by the Brotherhood.
What? Idiotas! What's wrong with them?
Guess I'll call the base. Mi viejo will figure something out.
Sink me, Lepera! I thought you'd been sent to Davy Jones' locker.
Whoa. White drum soars through the air and lands squarely in Lopera's arm. God damn it, I thought she slapped her. The ferocity of the embrace is enough to knock a grown man to the ground.
Why did you think that? I'm tougher than the stubble on the chins of the old geezers here. I'm like you, a ship that'll never sink.
Timekeeper? Who's that over there?
Kimberly is peeking out through the doorway, only a sliver of her face showing through the gap. Oh wait a minute, is it Lopera the one that catch her?
Kimberly? Did mi viejo let you go?
She's been released?
Oh, Timekeeper, let me explain. When we were routing out the deserters, we found Kimberly hanging out with the Manus thugs. Pa took her off somewhere, and he always has a plan, so I didn't bother asking where she ended up.
Hey, come over here and say hi. When did Pa let you go?
Or did you sneak out somehow?
They seem very friendly, so Kimberly is not really a threat. Kimberly's eyes shift, her claws tense as if ready to spring into action at any moment.
I think, Miss Kimberly, didn't you pull me out of the water? How did you know? Shortly after my fever subsided, I started to remember what happened just before I lost consciousness. There was a voice ringing in my head. It was you calling out to me. Vertin, I can't have you dying here. You mustn't give up.
Seriously?
What? I did not say that. I just took you to the doctor and left.
Her protestation is almost a scream.
Aye, 'tis true what Vertin says. Though Kimberly denies it, she chose to save her. Even when she had plenty of chances to blow the lass down. She's a good lass at heart. Not an enemy, Lepera.
Oh, this is so cute. Lopera lowers her guard, offering a friendly wave to Kimberly. God damn it, I start to like Lopera also though, but I don't have enough gem to do that. Kimberly cautiously steps out of the doorway but maintains some distance between the two of them. Lopera looks at her new friend. Her attire has given her a totally different appearance. After a brief pause, Lopera smiles at her. It makes me curious, what did she wear before? Is it the one that in the haunted highway?
You have to understand, it's pretty hard not to suspect someone who hangs around with the Manus. Anyway, I guess there must have been some kind of misunderstanding. Back then, I didn't have time to... In any case, I'm sorry, Kimberly.
Lopera extends a hand in a gesture of peace, but Kimberly hesitates, her claws tensing once again.
It's fine, but don't think I'll forgive you so easily.
So she is a good girl.
Speaking of the Manus and the Brotherhood, I never quite understood what they were trying to do.
Why the vibe is so feel different with the one in the florid Golden City? She mercilessly
I don't blame you.
kill people.
I still don't really get it either. So you're really not in the same boat as them?
A sudden yet perfectly reasonable question.
not! I don't have a boat! No, I mean, I'm not in any boat with anyone! If only I'd found my...
She looks around as if she's forgotten something but finds nothing.
Listen, I don't know who it is you're looking for, but it's not me. I've already told you everything I know. If I'm not welcome here, now get out of your way. Just... please, don't take me back to that place. I don't want to see that thing ever again.
What thing? She refused to look at the weapons around Lopera's waist, perhaps in a restrained sense of rejection or fear, or something hidden deep within her heart.
All right, girls. If you want to have a chat, at least take a seat first. It simply won't do to have you all standing around the entrance like this.
Mamay Mariana takes Kimberly with one hand and Lopera with the other hand, leads them back to the courtyard. When they arrive, she lays out some pacoca for them to snack on. I don't know what that is.
Eating candy is bad for your teeth, Bobo.
Oh, I'm much too old to worry about that. When you reach my age, and just waking up each day is a blessing, you'll eat whatever you want, too.
Mamai Mariana, could I have a word with you, please? I have some questions about Mr. Duncan.
Oh, Duncan. What kind of trouble has he stirred up now? All right, then. Why don't we head inside and give those two some space? And Lopera, apologize to that poor girl properly. You hear?
Every lost friend is worth remembering.
Mi viejo released you, which means you can't be trusted. And you saved Verton's life too. I guess I shouldn't have been so hostile towards you.
Was she so hostile? Because the expression doesn't show that though.
Here, have a drink. As a token of my apology.
She hands her a warm cup of something dark. It has a rich smell. Is it cocoa?
Salvadoran coffee.
Oh.
Great if you need to pull an all-nighter.
Kimberly raises the cup to her mouth with both hands and curiously sticks her tongue into the liquid.
So bitter! Yep, bitter like the old days.
Lopera falls silent for a while. Kimberly glances at the gun around Lopera's waist.
You know, back in Colombia, my father did horrible things to his plantation workers. Well, my biological father, not Igor.
Lopera looks off into the sky and laughs resignedly. It's as if she just spoke of a stranger rather than her flesh and blood.
He said, "No, that's not the sound of gunfire outside. The workers are setting off fireworks. They're celebrating." But they weren't fireworks. He betrayed his workers, his compatriots. It wasn't a celebration. It was a massacre. After that, I ran away from home. One day, the Admiral and Molly found me. That's how I joined Xeno. Betrayal's as common as dirt here. Comrades, friends, family, anyone could sell you out. And for cheap, too. I hope you can find your boat soon. You know, a place where people have your back.
Can I not drink this?
Of course. Don't force yourself. I know the taste isn't for everyone.
She clinks cup with her new friend.
Carlota Lopez Rivera. That's my full name. Bit of a mouthful, huh?
Lopera stretches out her arm, closes one eye, and lines up the moon between her fingers. She closes her face but catches nothing but the air.
I wanted to erase it from my profile. From everywhere, to be honest. But mi viejo disapproved.
She fiddles with her fingers, her eyes lingering on that unattainable celestial body.
Molly agreed with him. She said, "You mustn't forget your past, Beta." So I let it go. But Lopera sounds so much nicer, so I preferred to go by that. And you, Kimberly? What's your real name?
Kimberly hesitates.
Nala. Nala Hari. The residents of Heartfelt Home called me Anjo Nala.
Oh, so this is her real name, Anjuna. Been wondering how we're gonna come to conclusion that her name is Anjunala.
How long ago did Mr. Duncan move here? Do you remember?
It must have been 5, maybe 6 years ago. I'm not entirely sure.
So, 1985. 5 or 6 years ago, nowhere near the 20s. What's going on?
Do you have any photos of him?
Is that possible though? If he's like in 1929 and now you're on 1990, he's gonna be like much older in a sense, right? Maria knows and pulls a photograph from the storage room.
We do have one, but he's been gathering dust for years. Let me see.
What are you trying to pull?
Here. This is him.
It's the same picture. She points to the man who looks like Mr. Carson.
I know a gentleman who looked just like him. His name was Carson. Did Mr. Duncan ever go by that name?
The old woman blows the dust off the frame.
No, not that any of us are aware of anyway. And I've known him since I was a medic in the army. Back then, people called him Duncan the Dauntless, or the all-powerful Duncan. I never once heard Carson or anything of the like. Sorry I couldn't be of more help, miña querida.
It seems an in-person meeting with Mr. Dunker is in order. As they head outside, black flashes across their vision as a crow swoops down from above. It releases the letter clutched in its claw.
A crow?
The crow perches nearby as the letter flutters down and lands at their feet. The old woman picks it up and breaks the seal.
Oh dear, this looks like bad news.
Santos.
Oh no. It's a cleanly written ransom note, signed Santos.
Dr. Doras is being held captive in the Colonel's manor. He's given us 3 days. He says that if Zeno doesn't return the deserters they detained, he'll execute the doctor.
The hell?
Mamai Mariana, please contact Admiral Eagle. We need Zeno's help.
Oh, there's something here that I haven't do. Admiral Igor rarely makes calls to Xeno headquarters, but the situation has become desperate.
Ah, Igor. How are things in San Paulo?
Is that how you pronounce it? I heard like San Paulo, like there's an N in it, not Sao Paulo.
Worse than expected. I have a small number of troops with me, but not enough to deal with the situation. Things have gotten out of hand. At least one of the Apostles' Brotherhood leaders has pledged allegiance to the Menace.
Brotherhood. These new gangs just keep popping up, don't they? It's like cutting down sugarcane. Before you know it, another one's grown in its place.
Carlos has been murdered by his own subordinates. Even now, some of the deserters are with the Brotherhood.
This news is met with a prolonged silence.
Did you catch them?
Some have already been executed. The rest will be transferred to headquarters for interrogation.
Good. What assistance do you require, comrade?
An army. A reliable one.
An army? I'm afraid that's not possible. We simply don't have the men to spare.
It doesn't need to be large. Just dispatch my sentinel unit from Buenos Aires to São Paulo.
A loyal army led by the children he raised himself, composed of orphan of war born into Xeno's cause.
Or, at the very least, Saint-Théremy.
Ptolemy? Ah, one of your orphan children. That seems like a feasible solution.
Damn, he or she seems OP if he only needs one person.
Yes, his parents died fighting for Xeno. All my children are loyal to a fault. Officer Carlos was shot in the head by one of his own men in this very office. I need soldiers I can trust.
Ah, so the fearless Igor is afraid of death after all.
An officer was killed by his own soldiers at his own base. This is an immense stain on Xeno's honor.
How little honor they have left. Igor clings to it like a leaf to a tree in winter.
Indeed. If everything goes according to plan, you'll see your unit shortly.
Now it's just a matter of time.
The Admiral tosses the dice in his hand, up and down, up and down. He received the same oracle, the same answer, like the inscription on the Behistun monument. It is eternal, unchanging. His heart is a hanging lyre, and a hanging lyre, gently plucked. An ancient verse rises in the old Admiral's memory. Dark omens. Tree prophecy, it is all whispered from his lips.
Я видел ястреба, что гнался за голубкой, и бога солнца, который туго натягивал свою золотую тетиву. Я наблюдал, как приветствовали деревянного коня на наших землях, и как из священного фонтана текла кровь птенцов. Да, но человек с решительным умом и гордостью знает, что его город выстоит, его стены будут крепки, и он будет непоколебим, как ядро земли. Какой грех! Жребий брошен. Белый саван покроет его, и он будет окутан мраком.
What?
Это все для светлого будущего.
It's also the same number with Santos.
Лучшее будущее для всех.
On this rain-soaked night, this is the only answer.
Admiral.
Come in.
Yesterday, we received word from the Timekeeper that Dr. Torres has been abducted by the Apostles' Brotherhood. She should be coordinating with Lopera to set up a rescue operation as we speak.
She breathes a sigh of relief. The doctor may have been abducted, but at least the Timekeeper is safe.
Also, that girl who escaped, Kimberly, is with the Timekeeper. She claims that she was released.
Just play along with your lie. There is no need to tell Lopera the truth.
The Brotherhood has demanded that we exchange the detained deserters for the doctor. Forgive me for issuing instructions without your consent, but if we refuse or ignore them, I'm afraid they'll
execute the doctor.
He knows full well the ways of these thugs.
What arrangements did you make?
Mulder tenses up a little, unsure of how her father will react to her decision.
I told the Timekeeper that Xeno reinforcements would meet her at the veterans' residence. Since Lopera is familiar with the place, I also asked her to scout out the rendezvous location. And yes, I played along with Kimberly's lie. I assumed you would have done the same, Father.
Very good.
While the Admiral refused to talk to anyone last night, his daughter had been modeling her action after him.
Your squad will soon arrive. Take them to Lopera at the rendezvous point and bring the doctor back.
A squad?
To Lemmy. The Admiral gazes out the window. He scans the barren fort, the weathered stone, and the vines slowly wearing away at the walls. How did this come to be?
I have spoken with headquarters. All going well. Telemi and the unit will arrive soon.
Mulder's body relaxes a little, and a smile grows on her face.
I see. I can hardly remember the last time we were all together.
Her smile turns bittersweet.
Your father died in Abadan. In a war he had no obligation to fight in.
It's far more glorious to die in the throes of battle than to wither away on a sick bed. He made an honorable sacrifice.
How shameful that we would tarnish his honor.
Honor is a thing easily stained.
Let's begin with that young pilot, Lilia. Tell me, what do you think of her?
She's well trained, experienced, a straight shooter, similar to Lopera in many ways.
She's a true Slav, just like my brothers and sisters back home.
Stubborn, loyal, brave, and as unshakable as the frozen Siberian earth.
I suppose she's luckier than Lopera, not destined to become a traitor like her.
Lopera is still a child, really.
The Admiral closes his eyes as he remembers those who fought beside him.
So many lives have been lost. In wars, in the storm.
They have all been enshrined in the Hall of Merit at headquarters.
What do you think Lopera will do?
She's your child, just like me. I think she will stand with us.
He smirks.
You think? Do you? Anyway, she's not important. Here, take a look at this.
What do you mean she's not important? An invitation.
I will not wear it. Nor will you. I promise you, not one of us will wear this thing.
Oh no, no. Is it foreshadowing one of them gonna wear this thing?
The preacher has given us a gift and shared with us an oracle. We will bring her something in return.
The oracle. Sophia. What is that?
Fire and brimstone rained down from heaven.
Is that?
Yet among the ruins were covered the remnants of a miracle. A miracle that is living, breathing, and growing. I can sense their life force. I can hear their whispers from within these ashes.
Ooh, Arcana. A lucid dream, a living dead, a perished immortality.
Moldir, they are invincible. Rather than endlessly throwing young soldiers' lives to the white stone house, I choose to stand with the true future.
I will always stand with you, Father.
Wait, what is that? Wait, what? I got a bit confused there, but I think it's probably going to be revealed later.
The gambling game's been...
I think it's going to be revealed later. Hopefully, or maybe I missed something. I really don't like it when lore is hidden in somewhere not in the actual story. Like you have to read this dialogue and the article and everything. It's a bit annoying. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's all the time I got for tonight. I'm going to continue tomorrow and finish the rest. I think there's 21 stages, so maybe like a little bit, maybe extra 2 or 3 for the prologue. So I think it's enough for tomorrow. So yeah, but it's already late today. I don't think I will be able to finish it tonight. So instead of like trying to go on and finish and stop somewhere near the end, I will just stop here. I think it's pretty fair. Pretty sure we have like 21. So at least at the very least I already finished half of it. So yeah, enough for one more stream. Okay. Alright, so thank you all for coming and have a good night and see you on the next stream. Bye bye.